So I got a box set in the mail the other day, something that I had pre-ordered. Don't have a lot of box sets. And when I was unpacking it, it dawned on me, I don't think I've ever done a video on my box sets. So I thought I'd show you what I have today. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Northern Revolutions. I'm Rob. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new. As I mentioned, thought I'd do a little video about box sets. I've got more than I thought I had. I mean, I don't generally buy a ton of box sets unless it's an artist that I really like, because they tend to be on the expensive side. But I thought I'd show you what I have. The box set that started the thought process for this video was this here. This is the new Bryan Adams live from the Royal Albert Hall. I guess last year Bryan did a short residency at the Royal Albert Hall in London, England. He did 3 nights, and each night he performed one of his albums in its entirety. So he did Into the Fire, Cuts Like a Knife, and Waking Up the Neighbors. What's interesting about this box set is all 3 of these albums were recorded live, except the first 2, Into the Fire and Cuts Like a Knife, were recorded without an audience. So while he did perform them in their entirety in front of an audience, what they've decided to release here is essentially, it's almost like a rehearsal of the album in its entirety. The problem I have with it is there is a noticeable difference between the 3rd album, Waking Up the Neighbors, which in this box set was in front of a live audience. There's something lacking when you don't have the live audience. Or I'm probably phrasing it the wrong way. There's just a little something extra when there's a live audience. It brings an extra energy to the performance, and it shows. It's not that Cuts Like a Knife and Into the Fire are bad. They're not. They're very good. But they just sound like studio albums. Don't sound like live albums. The Waking Up the Neighbors, which is probably my favorite Bryan Adams record, to be quite honest, is excellent on here. This box set came with a DVD of all 3 performances, an autographed print. See the autograph across the top there. There's a book, and all it is just photographs. There's no text or anything in here. There's obviously album notes on the back, but it's just essentially a book of photographs. It's probably 30 some odd pages. Then there's each album. Into the Fire, Cuts Like a Knife, and Waking Up the Neighbors, which is a double. So 4-disc set. I like it, but it could have been so much better. Should have been all 3 nights live performances. He did it. Why they didn't record it, I have no idea. The next box set is, I mean, it's a box set insofar as that it's a box, it's a set of records, but it's really just a album. There's no extra goodies in here, but so glad that this was finally repressed. Smashing Pumpkins' Melancholy and Infinite Sadness, an absolute landmark 90s album. Like What's the Story, Morning Glory, a lot of memories attached to this. This is a fantastically well produced, it's kind of a slipcover box set, and in it are the 4 discs of vinyl that make up the album. So in here you also have 2 booklets. This is full color photographs, liner notes, stories about the songs, and then there's this book, which is just black and white, and it's lyrics. Thrilled to finally add this to the collection this year. It was originally put out, I think, as a 3 LP back in the day, and then there was an original press of this a few years ago, and then they just repressed it again this year. So I was very lucky to scoop one of these up. Next was the first box set, actually, that was ever in my collection, and this belonged to my dad. Eric Clapton's Crossroads. This came out in 88. And this is kind of it's a compilation. So you can see there's stuff that he did with the Yardbirds, stuff that he did with Cream, stuff they did with John Mayall, Delaney and Bonnie, Derek and the Dominoes, his solo stuff. It's a 6 LP box. Each disc looks like this. Songs on the back. Just pretty nice Clapton retrospective up to the 80s. And I also love it because it was my dad's. It's another box set I picked up a couple years ago. This is the Eagles Live at the Forum 2018. There is a 2 LP version, but this is the 4 LP box that I picked up. The Eagles have 2 LA Forum releases. There's this, and then there's Live at the LA Forum 76, which is okay. It's just there's 1 or 2 disc. I'm a big Eagles fan, despite the fact that I think Henley is the biggest wanker in the music business. I still love the Eagles. This for me is essential. This was recorded this is September 12th, 14th, and 15th, 2018. The reason that I think for me that this is essential, this is the only official Eagles release of the lineup that includes Vince Gill and Deacon Fry, who were brought on to replace Glenn Fry after he passed away. So if you want an official Eagles release with Vince Gill, who's amazing, or Deacon Fry, this is it, or the 2 LP version. I was skeptical that this would really feel like the Eagles, and it absolutely does. It was fantastic. Of all the Eagles live releases, by far my favorite. This is a box set that I picked up. I didn't really want it, but I bought it because I'm a completist. If it's out there, I had to have it. U2, Songs of Surrender. This is their box set. It's kind of hard to see, but it's got the title embossed on there. This is a 4 disc. There's many 2 disc variants out there. This is a stupid project. I'm a huge U2 fan, and I still think this is a stupid project. I think this was the Edge being bored during the pandemic. Edge and Bono went back and reimagined many of U2's songs. And while there are some that are interesting, and it's interesting to hear different arrangements of songs, by and large, I find this boring. I hate to say it. Larry's not in it because he was having back surgery, and Adam only plays on a couple songs. It's a letdown. I'm sorry. I don't appreciate this, but I have everything U2 has ever put out. So will I listen to it maybe once a year? Probably. Yeah, that's about it. What is in this box is you've got 4 LPs. So Edge. And here's the songs that he selected to do. That's, I guess, his handwriting on the back. Bono. And the songs that he selected. And again, his handwriting on the back. Adam. Songs that he selected. And Larry. And the songs that he selected. Even though, other than that, he had nothing to do with this project. Another annoying thing about this, there's like 20 different variants out there. I mean, I'm fine if you want to do 1 or 2 variants, but this album got out of control. Pun intended if you're a U2 fan. The next one I want to show, I'm calling it a box set, even though it's not in a box. But it should be in a box. Sheryl Crow, Live at the Ryman. The reason that I would call this a box set, there's 4 LPs in here. It's a double album. I mean, it should be a box. There's 4 records. Many of these have 4 records in them. And what I also like about this is box sets tend to have stuff you don't get elsewhere, and that's exactly what this is. It's Live at the Ryman and other places with a host of guest artists. Jason Isbell, Stevie Nicks, Maren Morris, Waddy Wachtel, Lucius, Brandi Carlile, Emmylou Harris. This is an excellent record. And like I said, I'm calling it a box set because it's 4 LPs and should be in a box. And that, of course, brings us to the Beatles, of which I have every box set. Well, not every, most. The original box set. This is Let It Be in the UK, in Canada, Germany, Africa. There are many countries where it was released initially as a box set. So there's a slip cover on here. Careful with this because these are fragile. So you have a slip cover. And then the album sat in a tray. It came with this book. I'm not going to leaf through it because the spines on these are notoriously fragile and the pages pop out. And my book is in very, very good shape. And then there's the record. Then comes the first of the reissue box sets that started in 2017. This is the Sgt. Pepper box. It's got a lenticulated cover on there, which kind of looks cool. Slip cover slides off. Made to look like an EMI tape box, which is kind of cool. I think the Beatles kind of missed the boat on this a little bit because they included this. Looks like a record, doesn't it? It's not. It's a bunch of CDs. 4 CDs, a Blu-ray and a DVD. So you've got the new stereo mix that Giles Martin did, which is great. Some 2 discs of sessions, and then a mono mix of the album with some bonus tracks, and then the Blu-ray and the DVD. That's fine. I wish they would have included a vinyl record in this. They did a 2017 Giles Martin vinyl, but it was sold separately. Would have been nice if they'd put it in the box. It includes a book. All the books in these anniversary reissues are just incredible. It's all sort of, you know, archival stuff. Fantastic. And then there's some ephemera. There's a poster. There's the cutout sheet that came with the vinyl. It's cool. I just wish it had vinyl in it. Then in 2018, they did the White Album box set. So on vinyl, it's the White Album, the new Giles Martin mix, and the Esher Sessions, which essentially is the White Album unplugged, if you will. As the guys at George's house doing demos of the songs. And the Esher demos are amazing. Fantastic. This is great. I was forced to buy the CD box set because, as you can see, it is just a very large book with CDs in it. And the problem that I have is there's more content on the CD box set, which kind of annoys me. 2 discs, which is the Giles Martin mix. Disc 3 are the Esher demos. Disc 4, 5, and 6 are sessions. The session stuff's not available on vinyl. So it kind of ticks me off that I gotta buy the CD box set as well. I'm not a CD guy anymore. Not that it's just not my preferred format, nothing wrong with it. I had to buy that box set twice. 2019, the Abbey Road anniversary box set. It has the new Giles Martin mix, and then 2 discs of sessions, which are great. So in the box, you get the album, and then you get the double sessions disc. It's great, but again, I don't have the big booklet because I don't have the CD version yet, which kind of sucks. More stuff in the CD box set. By the 4th time around, the Beatles got it right. The Let It Be Super Deluxe anniversary was amazing. It is a giant box set. Everything that is in the CD box set is also in the vinyl box set. There's a very large book, just like the other ones, you know, all archival stuff. Had the Giles Martin mix of the album. You had the original Glenn Johns mix when the album was tentatively called Get Back, and this is what it was supposed to look like. Interesting mix. I like the Phil Spector version better. I like Let It Be Naked even better still. The sessions, the Apple sessions, rehearsals, jams, which is neat. And then the Let It Be EP. This fantastic box set. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. The rooftop should have been included in here, and Let It Be Naked should have been included in here. The EP wasn't necessary. But nevertheless, this is an incredible box set. And then lastly, the Revolver Super Deluxe box set. Same kind of slip cover. Here's the thing. The packaging on this and the packaging on the Let It Be box set are the same. They're the same size. They're a slip cover where everything fits in. Kind of bugs me that all the box sets that the Beatles did for the anniversary issues are all different sizes, different thicknesses, different styles of packaging. I know that's the OCD in me, but it would be nice if they were all the same style packaging and the same height. Whatever, minor detail. Again, this is pretty good. This has the new stereo mix that Giles Martin did, and it has 2 discs of sessions, and then the original mono mix of the album, which was like the 2014 mono mix, but it unfortunately didn't use that one. They remixed it again in mono. I'm not sure why. So again, get another hardcover book with sort of archival stuff in it. The Giles Martin stereo mix. The new mono mix, which makes no sense to me, but for those that don't have the 2014 mono mix, this is pretty good. And then this is the sessions disc here. And then they give you the 45 of Paperback Writer and Rain mono and stereo. Reproduced like an original Parlophone disc was back in the day. There's my box sets. Got a fair amount, I suppose. I'm glad I don't have more because they're kind of expensive, but for bands that I love, I like the extra stuff that you get in box sets. So while the Beatles had some missteps in some of their box sets, and again, I have a whole video about this, which I'll link in the description, but by and large, they're getting better and better at it every time they do it. That said, I don't really think that there's any need to anymore. I think we're sort of at diminishing returns at this point. Don't know that there's a lot of session stuff for Rubber Soul that would make it worthwhile, but I could be wrong. Anyway, the rest of my box sets I'm pretty thrilled about. Hope you enjoyed that video, folks. Let me know in the comments, what box sets do you have? What box sets do you wish would come out? Got any great ideas, Beatles or otherwise? Let me know. Thanks everybody for watching. Catch you on the flip side. Bye.